Hurricanes and Gators and Seminoles and everybody else who probably would have tracked him much closer had he stayed at tailback. Moffitt deep ball for Ross. Broken up, D'Angelo Wilson. And a late flag, as they'll apparently call Wilson for going over Rocky Ross's back.
Pass interference on the defense, number 4. 15 yards from the previous spot. Automatic, first down.
Yeah, just as the ball arrives, watch the left hand on the left shoulder pad. Wilson gets it, and I mean, that is so close, but it's the left hand, and that's what that official was able to see back deep beyond to throw the flag. If the ball were thrown 2 or 3 steps sooner, it's a big touchdown instead of a roughing the receiver.
Well, hasn't that been a recurring theme too? Really, for both quarterbacks. Ball thrown a little bit too late. Smith for a couple. He's inside the 30. Brought down by Stallings and Scott Garrison.
You know, 2 teams, they've come into this bowl game, and their idea is this is the springboard game, which we've talked about. But you got to play 4 quarters. Both teams are pretty even, and they have to play 4 quarters and keep the focus and the intensity for 4 quarters.
UCF's had the traveling shoes on all year. They had only 4 home games, 7 road games. Moffitt was pressured that time by blitzing Scott Garrison, and the pass at the 30 incomplete, intended for Johnson.
Well, this again, remember a few series ago in the second quarter, Nevada, they started doing the run blitz with those 2 linebackers up the middle, and that's all that is. They're trying to stuff the run and see if Moffitt or dare Moffitt to beat him with a pass.
So far, he's really only burned him on the first pass he threw, the 51-yard touchdown to Marshall. 8 of 18, 127 yards, almost half of that total on that first attempt of the day. Here's a 3rd and 9, and again off pressure, gets it. Marshall breaks the tackle by Garcia, continues on to the end zone. Dragging Mike Samples the rest of the way for his 2nd touchdown catch. UCF is back within 2. And they'll try and tie it up right here.
I just, you know, I'm here to tell you, Brandon Marshall is a big, strong, talented receiver. And when you get somebody as big as he is out in the flat, you know, there are not many defensive backs in college football, period, that can bring this guy down. He is huge.
So you learned a lot that he could use this year when he returned to wide receiver from last year when they moved him because of necessity to safety. And he led UCF in tackles. So the try for 2 to tie it at 28 here. Moffitt. The throw behind his tight end, Darcy Johnson. Joe Garcia, though, right there on him. I think even on a better pass, Garcia was in great position to make the tackle and deny the 2-point conversion. Still the Wolfpack by 2. Scoring 9 straight to regain the momentum. We've talked all night about the pistol, the offensive innovation this year, Chris Alt. And what we wanted to do is put it in some perspective, because this is the only school running it right now, but there are some inquiries coming from some interesting places around college football. We said one guy who's interested in learning more about it is the renowned Ralph Friedgen, coached so long with George O'Leary at Georgia Tech and with the San Diego Chargers, now the head coach at Maryland. Others are inquiring. Who knows how many schools might pick it up. as the years go by. So look back at some of the innovations going back. First of all, credit to the Army single wing of the 1940s.
You know what? You got the wing on the left side, the single wing, and it gave you multiple counter options. You know, you could really misdirect with it, and then you go to T formation, and this was the old Oklahoma teams back in the 50s, and you saw the power. And man, you know what? People hear T and wings and this and that, and you know, so you see it, and it comes home for you.
Well, that formation brought about a 47-game winning streak. Rowe scrambling. Looks upfield and incomplete. Mike McCoy with the diving attempt. So from the T of the 50s, the Darrell Royal innovation, this was the very first wishbone game against Houston. They tied this game, the opener of 1968. They lost the next week to Texas Tech. Then they went 30 straight. Now, how did this get in?
Oh, I love this. Who put this in here? This flashback of old memories here. The old I formation.
Eric Dickerson's backup. Carrying well. Engineered by Lance McElhenney. The SMU I of the 80s. In all seriousness, I never saw it executed better than your early 80s team. I hate to have to admit that, as you know. Rowe throwing, Spencer with a first down reception. So from the I, really credited mostly to John McKay's early 60s USC team. Stanford with Bill Walsh in the 80s, showing the pro set or the split backfield.
And that is such a successful offense if you've got two pretty darn good running backs. You can run weak side and strong side. And a single.
And we could use a lot of programs here. This is Michigan of the 90s. The one-back set still very popular around college football. So first down, 33-yard line. Nevada on the move again. After the fake to Mitchell. Rowe again rolling right. And is going to be dragged down by Stephen Baker. A walk-on wide receiver who has only been a linebacker for a couple of weeks. But because Jordan Richards, normally the starter, is out today with shoulder problems, Baker having to play behind Corey Hogue, who started. They liked so much of what they've seen from Baker at linebacker. He just may stick there.
It's a good thing he got in the face of Rowe. Caleb Spencer was wide open for 10 yards down the field. But because he was in the vision of Rowe, Rowe tried to scramble to get away from him, buying more time.
Big loss, 2nd and 17. Four-man rush, draw play for Hubbard. One broken tackle and knocked out at the 35. It'll be about 3rd down at 8 by Jason Benson. So move on. This was actually from Red Hickey San Francisco 49ers of the 50s and then configured for Tom Landry's Dallas Cowboys teams beginning in 1975. Here Danny White to Tony Hill in the 70s. Shotgun, of course, is most evident now in the spread formation, which has been all the rage in college football.
And we don't get the pistol here. It's offset, so it's just a short shotgun formation, but the pistol will draw for you that Nevada runs.
On 39, pressure. Rowe steps up, looks up. And with the pump fake, is going to be really close to the first down. James Cook had him one-on-one in the open field. And he got the first down.
You know, he's blessed in the ability to be able to move and run, but he has to also recognize opportunities to pull up and throw the football, you know, and he has really added a dimension in this game to that UCF defensive line. You know, that defense over those front seven, they're running around the football field.
So we show you that brief 2-minute history of offensive innovation in college football just to bring you to this look. Only Nevada's Chris Ault using it at this point. Hubbard unable to get back to the line of scrimmage, but who knows, next year maybe a handful of teams running it. Who knows in 5 years. But it's interesting to look back, and every innovation on offense was then countered with a similar innovation on defense. And the chess game continues year after year. Whatever the offense comes up with, defense is going to have to come up with an answer. Then it's the offense's turn. The dance continues on decade by decade.
Yeah, and you know what? You've got the 7-yard tailback. You've got the quarterback, though, at 4 yards. So he's getting the ball a little bit quicker. The snap from the center is a little bit different with your tempo. It's just a little tweak to how you get the offense going.
Swing pass, Eacher and Flowers. Stop for a loss. UCF defense showing up again. Joe Burnett. And again, Stephen Baker sniffing that one out all the way. 3rd and long.
Yeah, that UCF defense, George O'Leary has to be happy with the effort that they're giving and getting to the football. Just a little quicker to it.
Does the defense need to do anything against the pistol that they're not doing against the shotgun?
No, I think when you see the pistol, and at least UCF's strategy, find the guards, they're taking you to the ball, let the snap occur, and know there's somebody back there. You know what? He's going left or right or up the middle.
3rd down and 12 from the 41. All 3 receivers to the far side. Mitchell's now going to step up to the right of Rowe. And Rowe in traffic, a strike. Caleb Spencer juggled it and dropped it. Boy, Rowe put it right there.
He sure did. You know, he made the right call, too, at the line of scrimmage to get into the play. I think Spencer just tried to dance and shake and bake a little bit with the ball before he had it in possession. But, I mean, stretch the defense out, opens up the inside there. You got to squat. You got zone on outside, inside. You're being bracketed as a receiver. You just got to sit down and hold the ball. It's a 1st down if he catches it.
Big stop for the Golden Knight defense. 4th down. Justin Bergendahl just did get that one off. And they'll mark it out of bounds around the 25-yard line at the 24. 4:22 in the 3rd quarter. A 2-point game in the Sheraton Hawaii Bowl on this Christmas Eve.
Dance and shake before they get to the line of scrimmage.
No gain for Smith, who is at 161 yards, 22 carries and a score.
Brandon Marshall down at the left.
Moffitt blitzed. Just got away from Cooks and looks up. There's Darcy Johnson. Nobody on him. They beat the blitz by going to the tight end, and he's hit late out of bounds at the 44. By Mike Samples after a gain of 30. And Johnson, 6'5", 255.
After the
still
runner
down.
went out of bounds, personal foul, late hit on the defense, number 24. 15 yards will be added to the end of the run. 1st down.
Samples, freshman safety from Long Beach, California, with the late hit right there at the knees of Johnson.
Man.
So bad enough that it's at the knees, making a bad situation worse. It was out of bounds.
Boy, you just hope that that's a tweak on the knee, because he's a heck of a football player. And you can see the respect that Brandon Marshall, number 6, had. He goes to the middle of the field, and you had blue jerseys all around him, and they forgot about the tight end coming across.
So back to the definition of a tweak. Is a tweak an injury that you can come back into the game with?
Oh, yeah.
Anything beyond that is much more than just a tweak.
Yeah. If you get tweaked out, it's gone beyond the tweak.
Darcy Johnson's brother, Willie Offord, gets it back with the Vikings. He played at South Carolina for the last team to go from a winless regular season to a postseason in 1 year. Lou Holtz did the same thing George O'Leary did when the Holtz took over South Carolina. Suffered through an 0-11, then got him in short order to a bowl, the Outback.
You know, and sometimes a player, you get that shot to the leg, and it scares you more than it hurts you.
So 1st down, up 29 of Nevada. Late 3rd quarter. UCF up 14, then trailing by 11, trying to regain the lead here, and dropped by Rocky Ross. The long fade, covered by D'Angelo Wilson. Here comes a late flag. Moffitt put it right there. Easily catchable, it appeared, for Ross, the freshman who replaces their leading receiver, Mike Walker.
Pass interference on a defense, number 4. 15 yards from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
So that's 2 straight series, Craig. They get D'Angelo Wilson for interference.
You know, and they're going to probably look. It's bump, so he's put him on an island on the outside. Nevada's defense is putting the challenge, and there's the right hand on the inside. But you know what? The receiver pushed off. There's mutual contact there. And I think Ross pushed as hard and as much as Wilson did.
That could be offsetting. That could be no call.
No call.
Instead, bad luck for D'Angelo Wilson.
Yep.
And the Nevada fans who see that on the replay screen being heard now as it's first down at the 15 for UCF. From 0-11 to their first bowl, flag, but no whistle. Which will make us look for offside. Kevin Smith stacked up at the line of scrimmage by Matt Hines and Joe Garcia. We'll hear again from our referee Scott Novak from the Mountain West.
Legal formation on the offense. Not enough men on the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Check in quickly with Susie.
Well, interestingly enough, they're taping Darcy Johnson's right ankle. They're not even looking at his knee at all, guys. He already had some tape on it heavily, and they're adding that many more rolls to it right now.
Well, interesting, because he took the shot right on the knee.
Yeah, I know, like that knee came to the inside. But sometimes when you got a dinger and you get tweaked on that dinger, it's a dinger times 2, and you just got to lay there.
We need another definition. In the James glossary. Dinger.
Some of that football stuff.
Just bad bruise.
No, which way did he go?
Safety blitz. Moffitt has to throw that one away. Things really started to turn for the Nevada defense when they got on the move. They started to go with some stunts. They started to blitz Stephen Moffitt. And right about then, they started to get control of this game.
And that's the same deal. It's the run blitz. Barry Sachs, the co-defensive coordinator, he had to make an adjustment because they were getting gashed with the run by UCF, and they made an adjustment. Of course, what that's doing is that's putting these corners on an island, and that's why you've had a couple pass interference calls.
Antonio Eldemeyer now at tight end for Johnson. This catch by Marshall with a stiff arm, stays on his feet inside the 10, down to about the 6. And a flag back at the 27-yard line. Marshall came within a yard of a first and goal.
On a defense, number 4, helmet-to-helmet contact. Half the distance from the end of the run, automatic first down.
Well, another penalty on D'Angelo Wilson.
You talk about Brandon Marshall.
Whew.
Right there, they're calling for helmet on helmet. 2 pass interference penalties, and now this. And Nevada, one of the least penalized teams in the country, is well over their quota. It's first and goal at the 4. Moffitt getting Marshall in motion. And they stay on the ground. And again, Kevin Smith, a marked man since his spectacular first quarter. No gain here.
Slow, methodical, and that offensive line at UCF has finally gotten their pads set again. You know, it's like they got lathered up real good in the first half of the first quarter, and then they went cold. They crystallized over there.
Co-defensive coordinator Tim DeRuiter without the hat. Dealing with Barry Sachs. Second straight running play, and this time Kevin Smith is in, and UCF is back on top again. Second touchdown for Kevin Smith, who's at 164 yards. The flags on D'Angelo Wilson, making that drive a lot easier for the Golden Knight offense. up 32-28. They missed a two-point try that would have tied it at 28 or their last series. They'll go for the two-point conversion here for a 6-point lead. And Moffitt almost is intercepted by Joe Garcia, intended for Rocky Ross. Right in Garcia's hand. So keep it at 4. 32-28. Golden Knights back in front on a golden Christmas Eve in Honolulu.
A different kind of New Year's Eve countdown, 11 p.m. on ESPN2. Where does reality end and pure vision begin? It all starts with a Pioneer Elite plasma display, offering incredibly high contrast for a nearly 3D picture. Pure vision. Only from Pioneer.
Okay, when we're all done, I'm calling Mom, Mom calls Glenn, Glenn calls Kim.
I'm calling him.
Glenn calls Kim.
Who's calling me?
I'm calling you.
And I'm calling him.
Exactly. Good.
Wait,
What?
we don't have cell phones.
I don't have a cell phone.
Actually, I don't have a cell phone either.
Stop by Verizon Wireless with your family and pick up this amazing LG camera phone with flash and speakerphone and get a second camera phone free. 2 great phones for 1 great price. Call us, visit us online, or come to a Verizon Wireless communications store.
Everyone know who they're calling?
No.
Great.
Verizon Wireless.
A lesson for parents about the power of your cable remote. Yes, you can surf the channels with it. But did you know? The cable remote can help control what your children watch. It's pretty easy. First hit Menu or Settings, then scroll through the on-screen options to set your password. Finally, block the programming by channel or rating, and talk to your children about why certain programs are not for them. Set your parental controls. It's easy. For more details on parental controls and tools, go to controlyourtv.org.
From the depths of cyberspace comes something behemoth, colossal, astounding. Net zero high speed, big savings with the fastest dial-up in the universe. Half the price of AOL. Defending your right to faster internet service for less.
Before my wipers streak or my belt start to squeak, I know I'm gonna catch it on time.
AutoZone has the people, parts, and advice it takes to stop trouble before it starts.
Nobody knows your car like you do. Nobody knows what it needs like we do. AutoZone.
World's worst weather forecast here, apparently. Nope. Got it right. Our friends at the 25th Infantry Division at the Schofield Barracks here on Oahu. Where it could hardly be more spectacular, couldn't it? How about that sunset?
Not often we get to do a game in what do you call these shirts?
Hawaiian shirts.
Hawaiian shirts. But there's another name for them. Hula something.
Aloha, perhaps?
I don't know. Aloha shirts, Hawaii shirts, little shorts, little sandals.
Well, I hope in your case never again with those shorts and those sandals.
Well, these sandals have got some age to them now. They're comfortable.
Oh, I am aware, as are all of us here in the booth with you. You see it back in front, 32-28. Raiders kept his kicks very deep and unreturnable all night. Monday, college football's leading active rusher D'Angelo Williams leads Memphis against an Akron Zip team making its first ever bowl appearance in a 1A fashion. The Motor City Bowl kicking off Capital One Bowl Week on ESPN Monday. Coverage begins with the College Game Day Bowl Special presented by Outback Steakhouse at 3:30 Eastern. That one is in sparkling ESPN high definition. Sparkling. Now up to the Wolfpack to respond. Back in fourth game, they trailed by 14, then led by 11. Now back down by 4. Rowe perfectly on the mark on the rollout. Caleb Spencer, who had a key drop on their last series, hangs on to this one. Let's check in with Susie.
Dave, continuing with the theme of George O'Leary letting his guys coach, well, maybe not right now. He just went over to Lance Thompson, the defensive coordinator, and said, shut down the middle. Time to shut down the run right there, and you might see them close that gap right now.
Yeah, he said that a big part of his philosophy is let his coordinators call the game. He says, I don't want coaches coaching with any fear in the pit of their stomachs. That's not going to help anybody, not them, not our team. But he will make suggestions as far as the general flow. Spencer breaks free, can't get to the slight overthrow. Caleb Spencer in the clear. That was going to go 69 yards.
Oh, man, and you know what? Everybody in the stadium, you could hear them going, oh, as they saw it. Spencer gets behind the defense, and a nice double move. Wow, that would have moved him out there. He sold it hard. Just out of his reach.
Junior from here in Oahu gathered up some 170 tickets for his family. Said that's only family. That's not counting friends. He will be married next June on the Kamehameha campus here on Oahu. Flowers with the screen. Turns it up for about 9. Not quite enough for the first. It'll be third and less than 1.
Yeah, but you know what? That's a smart football player there. He knows he's going back as a receiver. When you get that ball out there, the pursuit's coming from the inside out. Make one miss, but you got to get back north. You cannot continue to try to get across the entire defense.
Jeff Rowe's numbers. Total offense, Wolfpack 426 yards. Golden Knights 426 yards. On third and short, they call on Mitchell. Big hole. Mitchell dragging the only man separating him from a touchdown into UCF territory. It was Corey Hogue. He still got 13 yards.
But you notice here, it's short yardage, and they don't go underneath the center. They stay in the pistol formation, so it's a short shotgun snap. And with the ability of the runner and the vision, you talk about the hole. A nice job blocking in and out. And the running back in the short yardage goal line situation, Mitchell, he has to beat one man. That's his guy.
Mitchell at 118 yards, 2 touchdowns on his 15 carries. Fake to him, Rowe rolling. Looks up, Anthony Puduel called on for the first time. The tight end, second team all-WAC selection. Puduel inside the 35, a gain of 13.
He's goofy too right now. Puduel didn't know if somebody better tell him it's still Christmas Eve.
Still 15 minutes to play too in a highly entertaining Sheraton Hawaii Bowl.
The NBA on it with the heavy-duty Sean Alexander. 3 scores, ties the NFL record for scores in a season. Seattle clinches NFC home field. That's the only NFC definitive playoff-wise. Redskins beat the Giants. May have lost Mark Brunell to a knee injury. Both teams thick in the playoff hunt. More on Sports Center, always on ESPN News. Back to paradise.
All right, and on the second down roll, again, this combination shows up. Rowe to Spencer. Early on, it was Rowe to Flowers, and now it's Caleb Spencer. Nobody can cover.
But you know how they roll the pocket at Nevada so well, and Rowe is so patient and allows the plays to develop. And that flat, they keep throwing it underneath. He'll take off and run some, but then all of a sudden, you might have another chance, like Caleb Spencer got behind the secondary a while ago because they didn't throw underneath.
Keep an eye on him. He's top of your screen, wide right on 3rd down and 3.
2-down territory here, in my opinion.
Should be. Maybe won't need 2 downs as there's movement on the left side of the UCF defensive line. They, of course, are going to claim they were drawn offsides.
Be about the 3rd one, wouldn't it? 3rd one of the game.
Offside on a defense, number 44. Contact in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty. First down.
There's that look.
Our Nikon game track. UCF, after trailing 28-17, has a streak of 15 unanswered going. And the total yardage a moment ago was dead even at 426. Right now it's Nevada at 459. It's been back and forth just like this all afternoon and now all evening here in Honolulu. Antonio Wallace, the guilty party. On 1st and 10, the fake to Mitchell. Rowe will keep. And again, there's room. And James Cook grabs him after a pickup of about 6. Let's check in with Susie.
Just to add to that comment about the look, what was so great about the look he just gave that ref was he did it with a smile. You know, I would not want to be on the other end of one of his nasty looks, but he did it with a twinkle in his eye. You can really tell that George O'Leary is having fun coaching again, and that's what's so important right now in this role here at UCF.
Hey, twinkle in his eye?
He did. Craig, I kid you not, he actually gave him the nasty look and then smiled. Gave him the nasty look and smiled, then he walked away.
You're thinking Santa Claus, Susie.
Oh, it's not Christmas yet, Craig.
2nd down and 4. E.J. Mitchell, huge hole. They have not shut down the middle as ordered by Coach O'Leary. John L. Neal has made way too many tackles for a left corner. Gain of 11, 1st and goal.
Talk about the guards at Nevada. The offense that is apparently the key. Central Florida, they said we're going to watch these guards. They're going to take us to the hole. Well, those linebackers at UCF haven't necessarily filled those holes.
Case of knowing what to do, generally knowing where the ball's headed, and still not being able to do anything about it. So from the 5, they lined up Hubbard at a wing, put him in motion, hand it to him, touchdown. Robert Hubbard puts the Wolfpack back on top.
You know what? The first thing that comes to my mind is a nice job of getting your ball carrier an opportunity to get to the corner. The second thing that comes to my mind is the speed that Hubbard has, the ability for him to get to the corner.
3 touchdown day for Hubbard, as he had against Fresno when he rolled up 146 yards. What a tandem, E.J. Mitchell and Robert Hubbard. For the extra point, Brett Jekyll, 35-32. Go online and vote for the Pontiac game-changing performance of the year, and tune into the Rose Bowl to find out the winner. How many game-changing plays have we seen in this thing?
Well, I'd stick around because I know watching one practice by one of these teams, I saw a couple of nice little element plays, little plays that will test the defense's ability to see it. And here in the 4th quarter, I doubt they want to take it home with them.
Robert Hubbard will be back next year. This is it for B.J. Mitchell, the senior from Loomis, California. Hubbard from Emeryville. I look forward to a senior year in which he can be the feature back and step in for the WAC Offensive Player of the Year, B.J. Mitchell.
But it's a nice compliment, isn't it, Dave? When you see that Mitchell runs hard, tackle to tackle, and then all of a sudden you get a Hubbard that's got the speed to get to the corner.
3 lead changes. It was UCF early, 14-0. Wolfpack caught him in the 2nd quarter, got up 28-17, fell down 32-28, now back on top, 35-32. Jason Vincent, a very short return. So how effective have Mitchell and Hubbard been today? Both over 100 yards.
Man, that's a nice night.
Look at the average per
28 carries for 237 yards.
That's what just leaps off the screen right there.
Oh, yeah? Hey, you know what? You always come over once a night. You like to come over.
If you're not going to use it,
well, I was
wasted money.
Well, my mind was thinking. I was trying to figure out which way I wanted to go with it. You beat me to the draw.
While you were thinking,
yeah,
the moment passed.
Okay, you had a little pistol of your own.
Again. So UCF again coming from behind. It is Jason Peters' turn to be the feature back. He's a junior from Seattle. Grew up in Florida, lived there until high school, so he's going to be back. Not much from Dontavius Wilcox today. They normally find a way to play all 3, Peters, Wilcox, and the starter Smith. Just a freshman, 3 more years out of Kevin.
And Tim Salem, the offensive coordinator, he's done a nice job of sticking to the run, now setting up a little play action and being patient with setting it up.
Moffitt given time now has to scramble and will keep and be run out short of the first down. Darcy Johnson, by the way, the tight end who tweaked an ankle a couple of series ago, has returned for UCF.
Minimal tweak. Can't take him. You know, but you know what? If you come back that quick, you can't lay down there that long.
They had to retape it to get him back out there.
Okay.
So 3rd and 3. Marshall comes wide right, Ross right left. Marshall now in motion. Moffitt looking for him. Again forced to scramble. They have him. They wrap him up back at the 25. Big sack for the Nevada defense. Charles Wilson from the defensive end. A loss of 6.
Well, it's pretty simple now. Moffitt's go-to guy is going to the middle of the field. Brandon Marshall, number 6. And you'll find right here to your right side of your screen, you see blue jerseys bracketing number 6. He's not available. Sometimes when you get too comfortable with one guy, you can't find the number 2 guy.
Alex Rosenblum awaits the kick from Aaron Horn. Has he ever recovered from his 14-yard shank? Rosenblum from the 22. Nothing there.
Oh, man. Blowout.
And Rosenblum comes away grabbing that left knee after a 53-yard punt by Horn. We'll see how Rosenblum is tended to with 11:22 to play.
I tell everybody who comes to Hawaii to relax, unwind, and just cruise. But sometimes the hardest thing to do is nothing at all.
The people of Hawaii would like to share their islands with you. Plan your trip now at gohawaii.com.
People should be treated fairly. That's why eLoan has no lender fees. Find out how much home you can afford by getting pre-approved today. Those are some of the revolutionary ways we're changing the lending industry. eLoan. Radically simple. Of all the safety innovations that are built into a BMW X3, the most remarkable is BMW Performance. It gives you the control and agility to survive accidents by avoiding them. Beyond passive safety is active safety. All new BMWs have full maintenance covering oil changes to brakes for 4 years or 50,000 miles.
Built strong. Built comfortable. Built right. Wrangler 5-star premium denim jeans. Wrangler. Real, comfortable jeans.
The party is just getting started.
We're gonna be rich, people.
On a treasure-filled DVD with deleted scenes and more. Paul Walker, Jessica Alba, Into the Blue. On DVD and for PSP Tuesday.
Reach a new level of performance and boost your shave with Mach 3 Comfort Gel. Designed to partner with all Mach 3 razors to make Gillette's best shave even better. Mach 3 Comfort Gel. The best a man can get.
A different kind of New Year's Eve countdown, 11 p.m. on ESPN2.
Junior punt returner Alex Rosenblum out of West Hills, California, helped to the bench. If you're squeamish, you might not want to watch what happened to him. A non-contact situation here, correct?
Yeah, you know what? You plant, it's such a violent turn that the knee really twisted far more than it should. And his family there, we would only guess that's his family, but certainly their concern is real, and it should be, and we wish him the best.
Yep. Susie will report as they have a diagnosis, as Nevada now 11 minutes plus works with their 3-point lead. Rosenblum being 10-2 after Mitchell picks up 3. Also backup wide receiver plays behind Caleb Spencer, who has had a Big night. 9 catches for 94 yards in his homecoming.
Speaking of Spencer, there he is down here. 87. He has stepped up tonight, hasn't he?
They're on the show for the hometown folks, except for here.
Jinx.
Just a couple of those mixed in.
You know, you give a guy a little pub, get him the big head.
Spencer family not at all happy to see that 2nd and 7 drop.
A couple of key drops too by Caleb here in this late in the ball game. You know, and everything in a game this tight, you just got to keep the ball away from the opponent if you're on the offense, and Nevada can't afford to have drops like that.
This is a UCF timeout. First by either team here in the second half.
And I tell you what, you're talking about no air in either tank right now. I get a feeling for UCF and for Nevada. Both teams right now are just feeling this this break.
But I think just a brief break. I think they're going to give us a spectacular finish.
Oh, I'm not trying to desell the thing. I'm with you.
Sunday night, that's tomorrow. Christmas special. Brad Johnson and the Vikings. We'll visit Ed Reed and the Baltimore Ravens. Coverage begins at 7:30 Eastern with NFL Primetime presented by Miller Lite. Vikings Ravens also available in high definition on ESPN HD. The Christmas special on Sunday Night Football here on ESPN.
Boy, it's been a great week here. And
do we have to go back?
Well, I've delayed it till tomorrow. And
would they miss us if we don't show up for work in 3 or 4 weeks? Sadly, perhaps not. I might not like the answer to that question.
Well,
Alex Rosenblum continues to have the left knee checked. Twisted under him on the punt return a moment ago. And now Nevada ready for a 3rd and 7. Well, try to eat some clock up and ultimately trying to add to a 35-32 lead.
We've seen a lot of success with Rowe getting to the flat, rolling to the corners, and throwing it underneath.
Well, plenty of time there. Spencer hangs on. First down to the 41. Good job that time of Rowe not making it obvious he was going to Spencer all the way. 13 yards.
And you know what? You know why? The defensive back saw just what you did. He was not obvious. Rowe's feet and shoulders moved. He went through his progressions, and you could see the body making the reads too, so that once he found the right guy, he could deliver the football with rhythm.
As soon as he sent in motion, he just knew what was coming. Rowe finds him. Spencer hangs on. His 10th catch. Now 108 yards. Rowe will again keep. Ronell Sandy gave chase. Did not quite get out of bounds. That's fine with Rowe. The clock continues to roll. Susie, what have you found out about Alex Rosenblum?
Well, right now, Mark Paul, the trainer, is calling this a sprain, just a left knee sprain. But the trainers were holding that MCL area, which goes on the inside of the knee. He's now got ice on top and on the bottom. They're going to take him for an MRI when they get back to Nevada.
So we've got Dr. Jerry Punch and Dr. Susie Schuster.
I've had my knee done. I know this only too well.
I know. Unfortunately, I do too.
Hopefully it's not anything worse than that. Which you always fear when you see it twist so violently on artificial turf, as happened here to Rosenblum. Kyle Salmons right at the first down marker, immediately spun down by Joe Burnett. Salmons, a junior, one of 64 Californians on the Nevada roster. They have 20 from their home state, more than 3 times of that from the rich recruiting area just to the west.
And you know what, speaking with their coaches, they said after their Fresno State victory that right now their recruiting is hot. They've got players really looking at them and talking about the program, finding out more about Nevada and the facilities they have.
Big things happening in Chris Ault's 3rd tour of duty as the head coach. Hubbard, 3-touchdown night. He and Mitchell both well over 100 yards. He plows forward to the 40.
That dude is good. You know, when you see a running back with a lean like he has, got that face mask out. He's got his shoulder pads over in front of his feet. He's going forward. And this offensive line at Nevada has done an excellent job of moving and getting to the corners, finding the right guys. And who's making plays right now? You know what? Jeff Rowe is finding a way to keep the ball away from UCF.
18 out of 25. Rowe, 220 yards. Keep it on the ground for Hubbard, who will cough it up after he reached the first down marker. And UCF recovers at the 35-yard line. Paul Carrington. Fred, you were waiting for the senior to show up, make a big play. He just did.
And it's all because of hustle, too. 85, Carrington gets around. The ball comes cleanly out. Hubbard's trying to hold on to it, but sometimes when you're running so hard, I mean, go get it.
Watch here. Were the knees down first?
No,
nope.
Ball's out.
Nope. Best angle right here.
Ball's loose.
Yep.
That's a fumble.
So Hubbard, who has a 3-touchdown night, gives it away at the 35-yard line. Moffitt back to work. Smith back to work. And he picks up 5 or 6.
Boy, isn't that a nice call by Tim Salem? You know, that's really a patient. You get the ball back. Sometimes on a big turnover, you'll find a coordinator will come out and chunk it deep down the field. There's Tim Salem. He's, you know, very patient, and maybe he doesn't want to get that look.
Well, I think we've established nobody wants the O'Leary look. Tim Salem, who said this season's just been about what the freshman could do, led by Kevin Smith, Conference USA Freshman of the Year. Just shy of the first down. We head to the 7-minute mark. Central Florida, his first bowl game, trying for yet another lead change. They led 14-0, then trailed 28-17, went up 32-28, now down by 3. And on 3rd and about 1.5 feet, 2 tight ends in the eye. And it's Smith squeezing through for the first down and a couple to spare. How good is he going to be another 2 or 3 years? His 5th 100-yard game.
I think this whole team, UCF, with all of the youth that they have playing right now, the upside for them, man, what a foundation. George O'Leary has established it from day one. And we heard the players talk about his first day of practice, the tempo, and the people throwing up couldn't handle the workload.
That was a pretty large group of people you're referring to, too. Moffitt with a DP, underthrown, and Wilson, who's had a tough night with the flags, comes away with the pick, his 2nd of the season. And a nice return to boot all the way to midfield. Celebration penalty coming after the interception and return by redshirt freshman D'Angelo Wilson. He brought it back 36 yards. Ball intended for Willie Thornton.
I don't think it's a celebration penalty. I think it's a decleater penalty. I mean, Nevada laid some wood on UCF defenders.
Well, you had about 25 or 30 guys coming off the bench onto the field. Could be either. Scott Novak will tell us. We also have another injured Golden Knight.
After the interception, we had a dead ball, personal foul, 26 of the intercepting team. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down.
Oh, you were right. They got Roosevelt Cooks with a dead ball penalty. Trying to pick up the number of the injured UCF player with 6:22 to go in Honolulu, and Nevada up by 3. Back with the ball.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you
Do Nikon people take better vacations?
Or does the Nikon D50 just make it look that way? The digital SLR the world's been waiting for is here. The affordable new Nikon D50 makes taking incredible digital pictures so incredibly easy, just about anyone can do it.
Before my wipers streak or my belt start to squeak, I know I'm gonna catch it on time.
AutoZone has the people, parts, and advice it takes to stop trouble before it starts.
Nobody knows your car like you do. Nobody knows what it needs like we do. AutoZone.
BMW's 5 Series with active roll stabilization virtually eliminates body roll when taking a curve. A concept you find even more compelling from behind the wheel. Beyond taking a corner is defying the laws of gravity. All new BMWs have full maintenance covering oil changes to brakes for 4 years or 50,000 miles.
Nicorette Fresh Mint is different. It's the first and only stop-smoking gum coated with a cool burst of mint flavor. In fact, consumers prefer the taste 2-to-1 over any stop-smoking gum. It tastes great and fights cravings fast.
By Sheraton Hotels. Best location on all the beaches. And in part by the Nikon D50 Digital SLR. Incredible pictures made incredibly easy.
The ancient Hawaiian art of lei making. The island of Oahu. Injured center for 53, Cedric Gagne Marcoux, on the penalty against Roosevelt Cooks. They back it up to the 36, but Nevada back on offense, up by 3. And a huge hole for Mitchell to midfield. B.J. Mitchell takes it 15. Let's look at the penalty.
All right, let's go back now. This is on the interception, and just in the midfield, you're going to see 26. Here he comes, right? Let's follow this young man here, and you're going to see that, you know, the play is over in your opinion, right, Dave?
I think he was down. I mean, it was split second, but I think if you
it's definitely
freeze
behind
it, he's down. Yep.
Yeah, it's behind the play. But, you know, man, Nevada, they have sent a lot of messages over there that we will hit you.
Giving up 32 points, but it's not as if the defense has not had its moments. Spencer driven back immediately by Joe Burnett after a gain of about 6. And the clock will continue to roll.
You know, now UCF has to come up and make a play. They did the defense the last time. They stripped the ball from Hubbard and turned the football over, but they've got to do it. And, you know, a guy we haven't really heard a lot about tonight, number 48, James Cook, have we? Have you said his name much?
Yeah, a few times.
A few times?
He's not been dominant. He's gotten involved.
But, he's a big play guy. This is a football player that has to come in and make some plays for him.
He went to a George O'Leary camp in high school. He said, I don't want to play for this guy. This camp is too tough. Can't imagine playing for him in college.
Well, there he was.
Slamming for the first down inside the 40 to the 39. Mitchell brought down by Benson and Rashad. James Cook, a senior from Jacksonville, Florida. The only senior linebacker on the team.
That's a heavy burden to have to carry, being the only over there senior. And George O'Leary, with the expectations that he has for this football team, it is not to master the art of lay making. It is to, they want to lay you out. That's his mindset. I need guys that are going to go out there and fly around and play football.
He's found them. They're not all shaving yet necessarily, but they're out there. As are some flags.
I think this is going to be the 4th offsides.
Offside on the defense, number 44, contact in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Once again.
Yep, just listening, and Jeff Rowe is working it over there using his voice. Chris Ault, I just was so impressed by the way he handled his practice and coaching, and this is a prepared football team. They're prepared for success.
Penalty on Antonio Wallace makes it 1st and 5. Under 5 minutes. Play action, and Rowe looked deep, decided to tuck and run. Jeff Rowe, a target all night with the legs, been a major weapon in addition to Mitchell and Hubbard on the ground, and he keeps for 11. Run out by Burnett.
And UCF with a defense now that has all the freshmen on it they do. You know, Lance Thompson, you talk about a guy that has his work cut out. It's good and bad. You know what? Both of these schools are realizing now, as bowl participants with a team, that extra workload that the practice, the reps that you're getting, that lays the foundation for a lot of success next year.
Like an extra spring practice, the way the coaches look at it. Many of them say it is the single best benefit of making the postseason. Mitchell into the secondary. It's 1st and goal from the 7. Ryan Gabriel prevents this touchdown by B.J. Mitchell, who's already scored twice. 15 more yards.
You know, the strength, you're not used to tackling so low. You see that right there, an arm tackle, no shot. There's a big fella up top, barely able to bulldog him. I mean, when you're that low to the ground,
and you're hiding behind the quarterback.
Absolutely, and he weighs what? Let's go to the cheat sheet here.
205.
205, and that's probably 210, 215, really. You know he had a couple extra biscuits this week, and that's a lot of power. And it's like Mike Hart at Michigan. Short, it's a low strike zone for a defender. Guys aren't used to having to tackle like that.
Defensive tackle Frisner Nelson had to be helped off. Mitchell now at 167, 8.4 per carry. They have run for 347 yards. And Mitchell again, this time smacked down for no gain. Keith Sholigan, the tackle. He plays alongside. Frisner Nelson was there. At the 8, we're at 2nd and goal.
And you know what, that man right there, the one before, is thinking 3 points. This guy here, Coach Alt, he's thinking touchdown. 3 points is a big victory for that UCF defense.
It would be a first.
That's huge right there.
Otherwise, Central Florida looking at having scored twice in the last 3 minutes or so. Rowe faking to Mitchell. Throw wide open. Touchdown. Travis Branzell with his first catch of the season. Well, they've been saving that one up for 12 games. And the junior from Spring Creek, Nevada, brings it in to add to the lead.
This is the beauty of what Mitchell has done on the ground. They've been running behind those tight ends. Those tight ends have been getting their jobs done, blowing in there, blocking. They've been covered a lot in the flats, and you sell it hard. Next thing you know, you pop wide open.
Travis Branzell, who gets more action, is their deep snapper. The 3rd tight end makes it Nevada by 9. Jekyll makes it a 10-point lead with 3:18 to go. Everybody involved in this Nevada offense as ESPN's Bowl Road Trip wraps up on Christmas Eve from Honolulu. Nevada by 10.
Left yourself here.
I am extremely disappointed in your company. I cannot believe that a package that was supposed to be in this morning is somewhere untrackable and traceable.
Second down and 10. Moffitt, who's back for another year. Garcia came on a corner blitz, and underneath the completion for a first down. They will mark at the 17-yard line. Bringing the catch, Kenny Jackson, his first reception of the night.
This bend but don't break defensive philosophy is not bad right now. I mean, at this point in the game, it's okay. Let it just milk that clock down.
Incomplete again for Ross. Stopping the clock at 1:53. Golden Knights with 2 timeouts, needing 2 scores.
And I tell you what they really need. They need almost a timeout just so the receivers can catch their breath. They're winded, and it's hard to make a play when you're out of gas.
You said Marshall 9 for 167. Both of Moffitt's touchdown passes. Otherwise, Moffitt 8 completions to everyone else he's thrown to.
Marshall's thinking, man, maybe 220 would be better than 230 right now.
And all the others have combined for 99 yards. To the end zone, just off the hand of Marshall. Did he short arm that one?
No, he didn't have. He was a step behind. The ball was thrown where he would have been. If Marshall were fresh, he would have been there. Watch him. You can just see there's no drive really coming out of it right now, is there? You know, he's standing up tall. He's not driving, and just that half a step kept him from making a touchdown reception. I would say to Brandon Marshall, you can play in the National Football League, son, but you need to lose just a little weight. You can't afford not to have that extra little burst when you need it in the game.
They will use their second timeout here. 1 left for the Golden Knights. 1:49 left for them, needing 2 scores, trailing 42-32. Sports Center comes up next. John Buccigross and Neil Everett are standing by with all today's news and highlights, including on a huge day in the NFL, Sean Alexander's record day, all the playoff scenarios, and a preview of Shaq versus Kobe, as the Lakers will take on the Heat in a Christmas NBA special. The great thing about this game is not only that you get to spend all week in Honolulu, but every time that we've been here, this is the kind of offensive show people put on, and we're going to be right at about 1,000 total yards combined today.
And loving it. You know what? It's really been a treat to watch these two teams play, because you know that both squads have different kind of liabilities or handicaps, and the youth of UCF has really had to learn a lot tonight. And then Jeff Rowe over at Nevada, he's had to come out there and he's had to take this team and to do something with it, and they've responded. So is their defense, too. And the Nevada's defense stepped up. Remember at the first quarter, if you're watching, man, they were getting drilled.
Looked like it might be a UCF route where they quickly went up 14-0. Here's Moffitt on 3rd and 10. Is dropped way back outside the 30. Ezra Butler, the bandit outside linebacker, for a loss of 13. Ezra Butler, a soccer player from South Africa. Father, a jazz musician, has made a quick conversion to outside backer.
Look at the movement of the backers. The Nevada linebackers have done the damage inside. And it started around the first quarter. And once they made that adjustment, and it's really a run blitzing kind of deal, but it worked so well that they've stuck with it. Nevada just did a nice job of making a defensive adjustment and getting after them.
Go for the field goal here. It's going to be 4th and 22. You got to get inside the 8, or you got a strong leg. You need Trader, who has just drilled a 47-yarder tonight. It would have been good from 60. And that's the way they go. They need 3 at some point anyway, so this is going to be right at about 46, 47 yards.
The chance of them converting 4th and 22 is minimal. They got a much better chance, and they need the 3, as you just pointed out. Get the 3, go onside kick, see if you can get it back.
2 he made were overpowering. He did duck hook from 40. Could be 3 shy of his longest this year. In his career, he's hit from up to 53. This to make it a 7-point game and set up an onside kick. Good snap and hold. Again, plenty of distance, and again, good. So senior Matt Prater with his 3rd field goal of the night makes it 42-35, and they'll await the onside kick with 1:32.
And UCF, has just they've done a nice job of getting down the field, getting the points, giving themselves a chance, and that's all you can ask for. When you're down 10 points, you've got to give yourself a shot at it. And we're getting ready to see an onside kick against a hands teams unit. And it's one of those things you practice during the week, And there are a lot of schools where they give it about 60, 70% real mental focus when they're out there. Most schools go through the motions. It's hands team. All right, let's go. Recover it. Okay, good. It's the schools that really pay attention to these little details of onside kick or hands team. Those are the teams that give themselves a chance to win week in and week out.
So a team that recovers an onside kick doesn't do it just because of a lucky bounce.
No, you've got to have confidence that you understand how to execute. Don't sit back. You know, I tell my two boys when they're playing football, I said, hey, go get the football. If you're up there, indecision will squash you, absolutely nail you. If you don't go get it, somebody else is.
There's the hands team for the Wolfpack. Strung out, waiting for the kick coming from Prater. Notice that he doesn't actually have it on the tee. It's just leaning up against the tee.
With that big, tall bounce.
Come on, kick it. Nevada recovers this. Game over. There's the big bounce. And UCF is going to come up with it at the 48-yard line. How about that? Could you do it any better?
And what did I say, Dave? That you will definitely make the wrong decision if you're indecisive. You cannot sit back on the hands team front line and let the ball come to you. You've got to go get the football. Ball's in the air, go get it. Look at that, standing there waiting on it, knowing you're going to get blown up. Go get the football.
Jeff Branham does, number 46. Senior from Orange, Massachusetts. At the 48 of the Wolfpack. Right in front of George O'Leary. UCF with no timeouts, but 92 seconds to go, 48 yards. And they start with Marshall over the middle. Runs away from Garcia. Brandon Marshall knocked out by Stallings. At the 21, a gain of 27. And Marshall is near 200 receiving yards on 10 catches for 194.
Huddle up, relax, be composed, take the full clock. Stay in the huddle, Moffitt. Let the receivers recover. Don't come running out of there. You're in no time constraints and pressure to get up there and run another play.
Moffitt is blitzed. And is that a forward pass? Yes, incomplete. Really close to a fumble, but the arm ruled going forward as Roosevelt Cooks came in on it.
Well, the last play, UCF's offensive line was able to pick up the blitz protection. This time they don't. That's a fumble.
You think?
Yeah, I think it's a fumble.
As we were watching it, I thought for sure arm was going forward. Eric Clark made the contact. Cooks recovered, but
I mean,
is the arm going forward?
No, that's not it though. See, that's a fumble.
I think it's going forward.
That's a fumble.
Second down and 10. Moffitt. 3 times they have tried that pattern to Rocky Ross, and 3 times they've come up empty. Covered by Shannon Savor. This was the closest they've come. Ross at least got it on his fingertips, and it's 3rd and 10.
How can you not review that play?
It's surprising that they didn't review it.
Come on now. I mean,
I still think it would have been upheld, but it was close enough to look at it again.
It's close enough for a look-see. And these are 2 teams that didn't come over here, you know, for a shot just to have a good day. I mean, they came over here to win. And you got to look at it.
Keep an eye on Marshall, wide left on 3rd and 10. Again, Moffitt forced to scramble. There's a flag. As it's incomplete inside the 5. Intended for the tight end, R.C. Johnson. Look for a face mask, perhaps, here. Yep, they got it on Ezra Butler.
5-yard face mask on the defense, number 56. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
Definitely a good call there. So with 1:01 to go, the 5-yard mark off, 3rd and 5.
We used to always in the huddle, we would remind ourselves out loud, not the quarterback, the other guys, linemen in the backs, hey, the blitz, it's been working up the middle. Be prepared. Find your man. Step up in the hole. And at this point, Nevada's defense has been nailing them up the middle of those linebackers.
10th penalty, twice the yardage they normally give up. Not the time they want flags here, protecting a 7-point lead with 61 seconds. UCF doing this without any timeouts left. After getting the field goal to bring them within 7 and recovering the onside kick. Driving from the 48 of the Wolfpack.
Up top, there's your man, Marshall.
Corner blitz. Marshall is going to beat it up the middle for the touchdown. The Wolfpack gamble and lose. Garcia leaves Marshall to come on the blitz. Marshall romps 16 yards.
Now this is the big body, and linebackers have got to find a way to get out and look and expect the route coming to the inside. And Brandon Marshall with that big body, he's tough to bring down.
Now Prater, who's missed only 2 extra points all season, to tie it at 42. Perfect. UCF with 10 unanswered points in the final 2 minutes of the game here. And Nevada, which was a play away, which was a recovered onside kick away from celebrating victory. Now, with all 3 of their timeouts, we'll try to figure out how to get it down and at least get a field goal try off in the final 55 seconds.
I got a feeling Santa Claus, when he comes over the top of this stadium, may want to circle Rudolph a couple times just to finish it off. What do you think?
Perfect end to a perfect night. Well, there's not much question. Nevada offensively can pull this off. Can UCF defensively come away with a big play? Marshall gutted it out. 11 catches, 210 yards now, and 3 touchdowns in his Golden Knight finale. Senior from Winter Park near Orlando.
You know, now the question is, and you see it all the time, you squib one down the middle of the field to prevent the setup of the blocking scheme, you know, or do you punch it up high and let them fair catch it around the 30, 35? I don't think you can afford to go short with this thing. I believe you got to kick it because they only need a field goal to win the game.
How about 1,100 plus total yards? 84 points. Prater does blast this one deep. Hubbard, as he has most of the night, watches it sail through the end zone. So the Wolfpack, 55 seconds, starting from their 20 after a 4-play, 48-yard drive following the recovered onside kick. The only thing they change is they wouldn't do it so fast. They scored in just 37 seconds. Left Jeff Rowe and company plenty of time. Brett Jekyll getting loose. His longest, he's had a great season in terms of percentage, 80%, but his longest is just 40. Walk-on redshirt freshman from Las Vegas who hopes he has a chance to decide the Sheraton Hawaii Bowl. Rowe keeping, fooling no one. Picks up only 1, does not stop the clock. So they'll have to use their first time out here to do so. Kareem Reed coming up, leading the UCF defensive assault.
Now, Coach Alt has definitely told Jeff Rowe not to make a mistake. Don't try to force something. If it's not there, you eat it. We've got 3 timeouts. We can live to make another play. But the last thing they need to do is make a mistake down here and give UCF a chance at a big field goal.
So would you just forget about trying to win this in regulation at this point?
No, not at all. We've seen so many big plays in this game tonight that there's no reason for there not to be at least the potential for a big play. You strike something, go down to the 50-yard line on the next play. You've got 2 timeouts to go. I mean, that's a lot of time, 45 seconds, plus the clock stops when you get the first down. And, you know.
Well, this is what set up the tying score for the Golden Knights. The onside kick recovered by Jeff Branham. Marshall then set up what would eventually become the no fumble call. And then as Garcia left him on the corner blitz, Marshall burning the gambling Wolfpack defense with his 3rd touchdown catch of the night. He got it all started with a 51-yard grab way back to make it 7-0 on their 4th play from scrimmage. Rowe for Flowers. He will turn and make a move on Stephen Baker and pick up the first down to the 32. Clock stops at 37 seconds.
Did you see that football waving around in the open space?
Had to be a tempting target.
Absolutely. You know, and I think it's very important that Nevada have some success here offensively, because if they go to overtime, they can't go to overtime in a funk.
We're looking at about 50-plus yards to even think about a field goal. Now there's a gamble, and he got away with it. Wow. Threw up a prayer for Puduel. How fortunate is Rowe that wasn't not only intercepted, but returned for the game-winning touchdown by Trevante Johnson.
And you have to wonder, what was Rowe trying to get rid of the football and throw it out of bounds?
No, I think he's trying to make a play.
Well,
I think he saw Puduel and he thought,
I'm in the middle
maybe
of the field.
I can hit him.
If I'm calling here, I'm trying to get to the middle of the field. And Caleb Spencer's up top, number 87. He's up top screen.
The deep out off the hands of Flowers with 22 seconds, 3rd and 10. And Paul Carrington down. 3 defensive linemen at one time or another have been down, a couple of them twice for UCF. And here it is the first team All-Conference USA defensive end, the senior from Guyton, Georgia, Paul Carrington.
95 on the outside, and leg just got locked underneath. Couldn't get it out of there.
That was Frisner Nelson. Nope, Brian Gavarell, his teammate, who just rolled up on him. So Carrington, the latest to go down defensively for UCF with 22 seconds. Grew up a Georgia fan, could not stand George O'Leary's Georgia Tech fans and teams growing up near Atlanta. But he said when O'Leary came and got that strenuous offseason program going that we referred to all night, when he saw not just the big guys throwing up in the weight room, but when he saw the DBs and the wide receivers getting sick, he said that's when I knew it was a new era in UCF football.
I think I've gotten conservative on you, Dave. I believe I'd run the football here and not want to have to punt if there were an incomplete pass.
Well, definitely no more prayers like the last one should be thrown, although they come out in a passing look, 3 wideouts right. And they go draw play for Hubbard. Hubbard to the short side, can't get out of bounds at the 37. 2 timeouts left. 4th down coming. And Nevada evidently will look to overtime. So the team that played in the very first Division 1A overtime, the 95 Las Vegas Bowl, will play OT in the 2005 Sheraton Hawaii Bowl. 10 late points by 25. No game clock, and beginning with the 3rd overtime, no more kicking. You must go for 2 after every touchdown. Scott Novak ready for the overtime coin toss at midfield.
Okay, guys, overtime rules. Nevada, you'll call the toss again. The winner of the toss will choose either offense or defense, or which end of the stadium we're going to play on. Each team has 1 timeout, and all video reviews will come from upstairs. Nevada, it's your choice. What is your call? Heads. Choice is heads. It is tails. Central Florida, you want to talk? Defense.
So the lines are drawn now for the overtime, tied at 42. You would think if any team would be tired, it would be a Nevada team that's not used to the relative heat and humidity here. Not really all that high. It was mid-70s, maybe high 70s here today. In Orlando, that's just a typical day pretty much any time of the year at some point or another. But
a lot of
according
energy.
to Susie's down there making it sound like really it's UCF that appears more tired.
What I can't believe is how the team just reacted to O'Leary getting them together into that huddle and coming out of it. It really woke them up, actually, Dave. And it seems like the whole team is feeding off that, as opposed to Nevada, who sat on the other side just watching and letting the time expire. That was a very strong strategic move on O'Leary's part. But I want to talk about Paul Carrington, who just came out of the game. They did all of the ACL tests on him, but he wanted to go back in. It is not an ACL tear. They put a stabilizer on him, taped it up. This is his last game, and he wants to play it out, guys.
Understandably, although he's not out there at the moment. We'll look for him.
Yeah, there's Caleb Spencer, 87, stepping in the huddle for Nevada. A few words of encouragement, trying to get these guys ready to go. And you know, it really is. This is a matter of refocusing. Everybody's tired. And I'm not surprised that UCF is really tired, because, you know, they had to fight hard to get back. They exerted a lot. They emptied their bucket, as some coaches would say.
So Carrington standing at the ready along the sideline, hoping that he can get sent back in, help decide this thing. Just about coming up on the 4-hour mark. 598 total yards in regulation for the Wolfpack. 530 total yards for UCF. 84 combined points. Leading into overtime. Lance Thompson's defense said, what I want for Christmas is just a couple of juniors. I don't want to get greedy. Seniors would be great, but I'll settle for juniors.
Yeah.
All freshman secondary he started tonight.
They've given up a lot of yards, but you know what? This is an offense that hurts a lot of people. And you throw some young guys out there and maybe go vanilla a little bit with what you can do. And
one carries 167 yards and 2 touchdowns. Rowe fakes to him and rolls right. And throws a strike for a first down to the 13-yard line. Then the ball is not loose. Was it a catch and fumble? Was it ever a catch? No, it was incomplete. John L. Neal came up and jarred it free. No catch for Spencer.
And you know what? Did he have possession of the ball? I mean, control. Ball's in the stomach, 1 foot down. Man, I tell you, that's pretty darn close.
That's a catch, I think.
That's very close to being a reception.
Replay reviews from above. And, boy, that's definitely worth another look.
Well, you know.
We'll look at it again, but evidently the replay official will not. He wraps it up. He takes a couple of backward steps. Then Neal knocks it free. And now.
Well, UCF's calling time, and
they're calling their
hoping
time out here.
That, you know, they're hoping that upstairs we'll have more time to look at this to see if it's a fumble. But you know what?
They shouldn't come down to that. You shouldn't have to spend your overtime timeout just.
I wonder if these guys went home
a
early.
Review that you should get. You should get without having to use your timeout. So we'll look at it again. Listen for a whistle. The whistle was blown after the ball was knocked loose and before it was recovered.
Well, if it's blown before it's recovered, then it's down. There.
Well, what a horrendous break for UCF.
Well, and I thought that UCF got a great break earlier when Moffitt was not reviewed on what I thought was a fumble.
So it happens again here. Caleb Spencer really seemed to have possession, wrapped it up, backed up a couple of steps. Then Neal came in and knocked it free. But it will stand as an incompletion on the first play of the overtime, 2nd and 10. And Rowe from the pistol. Mitchell behind him. Play clock inside 5. And it's Mitchell. Good burst for about 7 out of the 18. Where Stephen Baker and Sharif Rashad bring him down.
Well, but you saw the cadence that Jeff Rowe's working up there, barking, trying to get UCF to jump off sides. They have 5 offsides calls against them tonight. But that posturing and that delaying up there, it gets that defensive line off their fingertips and gets them neutral a little bit. Just a little bit of an advantage there for the offensive line at Nevada.
Sports Center coming up next, just past 12:35 a.m. Christmas morning in Orlando. 3rd and 3. And Rowe turns back against the grain, throws complete to Pudawell, the tight end, and it's 1st and goal at the 8. Joe Burnett recognized too late that the whole play was going right, and 83 alone was going left, wide open.
And this goes from the right to the left. And this play was open earlier, but Jeff Rowe didn't throw it back. He stayed play side. And so, you know, that's smart. Good coaching, man. You got something in the bag over there, and you got to use it. No reason to take it home for Christmas.
Turn that thing upside down and empty it out. Back to the ground game. Mitchell to the 5. That's it. Wrapped up by Keith Sholigan.
Man, that guy's strong. That runner is strong.
Wax offensive play of the year, his 7th 100-yard game of his senior season tonight. Now nearing 200.
I think his style of play works in the NFL. The NFL's not about speed backs. I mean, there are a couple of guys who can run around the corner, but not many.
Fake to him, wide open on the left side for the naked boot. Touchdown, Jeff Rowe. How about Rowe as a running weapon tonight? His 12th carry for 68 yards. And the touchdown to begin overtime.
And I'd make a plausible gentleman's bet with you that this was designed to be a handoff. Because everybody was blocking and hitting it up in there. But if it's not, it's just excellent execution of selling a run.
Jekyll, who has missed on only 3 coming into this game. Perfect tonight, perfect snap and hold, and he hooks that a little bit more than he would have liked, but it's still good. It's 49-42. So the Wolfpack handle their business after losing the overtime coin flip. And they're at 623 total yards. Turning points, couple of them. This ruled an incomplete forward pass. Fred thinks bad call. I disagree. This ruled a whistle before the fumble recovered by USC. We both agree that was a terrible break for the Golden Knights.
Yeah, I thought both were fumbles, but certainly both are reviewable. And
definitely.
There's the side of you that says, well, yeah, it's great that the replay officials aren't trying to control a football game and make a call, but something as important as those 2 plays.
They're up here for a reason.
Yeah.
At some point, they do have to take control of the game. So now UCF, knowing what they need 7 to force a second overtime. They start with Kevin Smith, and a nice cutback by the Conference USA Freshman of the Year out of Miami, brought down by Roosevelt Cooks, who has lowered the boom on a number of Golden Knights all night long.
He sure has. That youngster, man, he's stepped up in the hole many times. And I think what he did more than anything was he figured out the perimeter game of Kevin Smith and how to get out there with him.
Exactly. We got 6, 2nd and 4. Look at that hole. Smith to the outside. Bumped by Wilson. Touchdown. 2 plays. All it took for Kevin Smith. And with that, he goes over 200 yards. 29 for 202, 3 touchdowns for this freshman.
And here, your safeties, they're not up in run support. And that UCF offensive line was able to get into leverage position, blocked off, walled out, and Smith got back into it.
Prater's numbers on PATs coming into tonight. Michael Buscemi snaps to John Brown. Kick is wide right, and Nevada wins it.
Oh, man! You got to be kidding me.
And UCF's trip to paradise ends in a nightmare. Matt Prater, who helped force overtime with a late field goal, has been blasting the ball all night. He pushes the extra point wide right, 49-48. Wolfpack are final in overtime.
There's nothing ever automatic about anything. And the pressure here on the kicker is immense. And like you said, Dave, this guy, young man, had come through for his team earlier. UCF really depended on him. And here, the push to the right, it's Santa Claus wearing number 2 that lives in Nevada.
Boy, in a game with this many points, 97 points, UCF comes up 1 short, and Nevada wins the 2005 Sheraton Hawaii Bowl. How about this? In overtime, the Wolfpack finishing up 9-3. This game, a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com. If you want to watch this game again, it's airing right now on ESPNU. Again, in overtime, 49-48, Nevada. Merry Christmas, Mele Kalikimaka from Honolulu. For Craig James, Susie Schuster, and entire ESPN crew, Dave Barnett, stay tuned. Sports Center is next.